and welcome to Crafting with Jane. We are doing my journal, my art journal, which is, as I've said, is an experiment. It's something that I have not done a lot of before, but this time I'm using a stencil and I'm using a series of greens. So we've got a granny apple green, a mint macaron, a soft succulent and a just jade. So greens and different sort of greens, which I think will work beautifully. I need some sponge daubers, and I am going to, as I say, do some stenciling, probably do some stamping as well. We'll just have to see how it goes. So I'm starting with the granny apple green, and I'm just going to take a sponge dauber, and I'm going through this big one first. So I'm just going to take, because this is quite big, so I can change the colours through as I go. Now I can, if I wanted to, I could stick it down, and if I was doing it on a card I probably would. I'm literally just doing this as a background in there, so I'm not overly worried about it. So that's the granny apple green. Now this is the mint macaron, and I'm just, as I say, playing around with different colours. I'm going to use the same sponge dauber because they're all greens, because I want to just sort of blend it through a bit. So you can see that this is just a little bit darker. Not a huge amount of difference between those two, which is fine, because I'm just trying to take different bits of colour coming through. And as I say, I could have stuck it down, but because this is going to just be covered up with a lot of things. Now this one is soft succulent. Most of these will be retired, but as I've said, I'm using what I've got. I'm enjoying being able to play with other brands and things and just have fun with crafting. I've always wanted to do more with mixed media and never really got around to doing it. So now you can see how we're getting it. This is quite nice because it's quite a bit darker. Just doing a sort of a section of it like that. And then let's take this just jade and we'll do the other bit down there with that one. So, and obviously it's going to mix in with the others and just blend through quite nicely. And as I say, I'm quite happy to just put my hand over here and just work it down like that, because as I say, it doesn't have to be absolutely precise, but I want quite a bit of colour on there. Okay, so that's nice. And I think I'm going to go back to doing, might have to take a bit of a paler one, to have the pale green, or the lightest of the greens, down on the bottom again, so that we've got that sort of mix of colour. So I'm just going to take this, I'll put it down on there. I'm just going to bring that up a bit because I want to try and get it in so that it just works quite well without it going over too much. I think that's going to give me a line on there, isn't it? I'm just going to bring it up a bit actually, so I can blend that in. I just want to cover as much as I can without having a complete fixed line on there. So this can just come up like that. Just bring Awesome. Okay, so that's got that in on there. Now what I want to do is to put another stencil over the top to get a different pattern coming through. So I'm going to do the same. Am I going to do the same colours, or I'm going to do something different? I think I've got to do it something different, haven't I? So that's the dark. So I'm going to do the light across on the dark and just see how that comes out. And hopefully it will be quite nice. I might only do this in the centre portion. I'm not quite sure yet. As I say, it's all a bit of an experiment. But I know, speaking to a few of you, that mixed media is outside their comfort zone, and but you're enjoying the journey. So as I say, some of mine have come out and I've thought, I don't know, but I've always sort of thought, and any things that I've read have always been keep going with the process. Don't oh, now that's quite nice. Yes, I like that. Quite subtle, but that's going to be okay. So I want the darker one. Which is the darkest? Which do we like? I think we like this one. So I'm going to take this one and put that one in over the top of the other ones, because that's on the darker one. So let's just take that out, and then I can put that in down on here. Because what we want to do is we're just having a little bit of a pattern coming through, so it's a double sort of stencil on there. And I'm doing this quite quickly because it's like everything, it's always takes quite a while, but it's not always the most exciting bits to see. So yes, now you see that I really like. I like the double pattern of that. So let's just finish on that on here. And I say sponge daubers are really good to use because they literally, you can get through most of the little gaps and holes and things, which I think is quite good. So let's just get those bits on there. Okay, yes, now you can see that that's looking quite nice. Okay, so that's our stenciling done. Now I want to put do I want to do anything more on there at the moment or not? I think so, yes, because I want to tone it down just a little bit. Don't want it too sort of over the top on there. So let me get some stamps and things that I might just want to put on there. My favourite one is my Gorgeous Grunge, and I've always really liked that because that just brings everything together. And I've got this one as well in there, which is sort of a bigger splot and a smaller splot, and these will give me lines, but I don't think I want those. I think I just want some splatters in different sort of tones and things, but I want it to sort of tone down a bit. So I've got all of these greens, but I don't really want to use them for the next bit of this because I think it's not going to, they're not going to work together anymore. We've got all of those for the background, so I need to take something that's a little bit contrasting. So let me have a little look and see what I've got. I think let's have some yellows. Quite like a yellow. I think that might work in on there. And then I'm going to have a brown as well, because I think that might tone it down a little bit. So let's have a little look and see. This might not be dark enough, but we'll, oh, if I can get this one open. So this is a yellow. I quite like this big spot in here. Let me see how that comes out. Oh yes, that's nice. Because that's quite big. So I can take it down on the middle like that, can't I? But I do like it. I'm going to get some more of that on there. I'm trying to cover the sheet so that it looks quite uniform. Now, do I have some of this? I quite like this as well. So I'm going to use this one, which is a brown. And these are different sort of spots. Oh, they're nice. Okay, and then I'm going to take this with the bigger splots. It's looking quite autumnal now with the brown, but it's just, can you see how it sort of toned it down a little bit? I do like these spots, so I'm not scrimping on them, particularly on these corner pieces, so you can see them coming out. Right, now you see, I think that that actually works really well, and this is where you have to learn to stop, because I think what's been happening is I've kept on and on and on things, and then it looks a bit overly messy, whereas I think with this that's just about right. Okay, so now we need a focal point, and what I've done is I have cut out some little, I'll put them on here, literally just sort of leaf shapes. Now all I did was I got a strip of pattern paper, and then all I did was cut a half circle one side, turn it over, cut a half circle the other side, and made these little petals. So they're that's what's going to happen. And I've got these little ones which are going to be the tops of the sort of downturned daisies. So I need to put these in first, and I think I'm going to have one about here, because that'll work, because that's quite dark as well. And I've got a pinky one as well, and I didn't know whether I was going to do the pink. The pink actually might be quite nice, because I can then colour that in as well, can't I? So let's do the pink. I quite like the way the pink's going. So we need to just put some down. How many have I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I've got a 4 and a 5. That's going to have to do, I think, because I prefer those to the others. I might, there's me dithering again. I might I might take it with the other. I don't know. I'm gonna play. I'm gonna play and see how they come out. So we want these on first, and all I'm going to do is to just stick them down. So I'll have one here. Whoops, sliding about all over the place. Then I can put one next to it. Come on, little bits of glue. Two. 3. And I've done these, which literally are going to be the top of the daisy like that. They can go whichever way I fancy, because I can, and I've got some smaller ones as well, so I've got to work out exactly which ones I prefer. So we'll just have to see once I've got some glue in on here. So let's do like it being down a bit. Whoops, it's stuck to my finger. Let's put that one down there. And as I say, you can do it with whatever pattern paper you want. I just wanted to do it. I've done some, as I say, I cut some darker ones out, but I just want to have it quite pale, I think. So these are going to be my focal points of this, and I think that they are going to actually work quite well. So we'll have another one down here, I think. So one. And obviously all of these ideas you can turn into cards if you want to, because I know quite a few of you are card makers. I'm more of a card maker, but because I'm experimenting with things, doing it in a book like this also means that you've got a record of what you've done and what you like and what you don't like, so you can then copy it at another time. You could also, if you wanted to, put the recipe down on the other side of the paper so that you can actually see, you know, what you've done. And then it's entirely up to you how you go about making your cards. I find it's quite good to have a little bit of inspiration by playing around with something new, something I haven't done before. And so I really quite like doing it because it gives me some ideas and inspiration. Now I've got one more on here, haven't I? Do I just have them both with 4? I think we'll see. So I've done 2 little ones. Do I have them that way around? I think I should actually. Should I have them that way? Or should they be sticking up a bit more? I think they should be sticking up a bit more, shouldn't they? That's quite a good one, I think. Let's put that one in on there. Don't know whether that's the right sort of shape or not. Let's move those there. Now I've stamped a daisy on here. I'm just going to have a little look. Okay, so it does stick up quite a lot out of there. That's fine. So I need to make him that way round if I'm going to have him like that. And he's a bit fat, isn't he? Shall I do it with a thinner one? Like that, I think. Okay, so I think both of those are going to go on like that. And then we can start turning them more into little daisies. So let's put that there, because these are going to be my focal points. And we'll put this one in on here. So I need to, come on, a little bit of glue. This one can go in that way, can't it? Like that. Okay, so these are my, put those out of the way because I'll do those on something else, and I might do those on a card once I've finished. Okay, so we've got those on there. Now I want to colour them. So I have taken some alcohol markers, and I want to colour in the yellow of the top of this part. So I'm going to add some more colour into here and do this one as well. Like that. Then I've got some pinks which will go with that, and a bit of a orange. What's this one? Calypso Coral, dark Calypso Coral. So I think that that will work. So we want it, it's got to be here, it's got to be quite, oh, might be a bit. So I'm just doing it round here first. that. And then I'm going to take my pinks. So let's take the dark one because I want them dark running to light. So let's make sure I can bring them down a little bit. I'm trying to blend it as I'm going, like that. And then I've got the palest one, which I should be able to just take it all the way down on here. So I'm just, so that once it's dried, it'll be more, you can distinguish it a little bit better, but I just wanted it to be coloured in, but still having a little bit of the pattern of the paper. So it depends how dark your paper is and what you're doing with it, but this just gives me the outline. Like that. They look like I don't know what at the moment. Okay, so then we need to take our black, and these are Posca pens. I think you can get them anywhere. You can certainly get them anywhere in the UK. I'm sure you can anywhere in the world as well. Now I'm going to do the top one first, and what I want to do is to just draw around this. So I'm drawing around my leaves, my petals rather. Sorry, I'm being a bit quiet on this one, but I'm trying to concentrate a bit. Of course, now I start talking and I've just gone outside the lines, but I don't think it matters that much. Just coming round on here to make sure that it's all coming round the edge. But by doing it with black, and you could do it with any black marker actually, I'm just doing it with this one because the Posca pens are really good. They do give a really nice dark look to it. Now I don't know whether to go in underneath here or not on the flower. I think I really should, shouldn't I? And then we'll put this one in on here. And then this way. Probably needed some more petals on this, I think. But I think it'll be all right. We'll see. Because I say I've only got 4 petals, so I think probably I should have had some more. Just wondering if I could put the purple in and whether that will give it a little bit more, little more of a look. Let me have a look and see what the purples will do. Just seeing, putting them on to see if it would work. If I put these in between these. No, I don't think they do they? Okay, so what I'm going to do is, let's be a little bit adventurous and let's take some, that's the darker one, isn't it? I'm going to add some petals, but not, I'm just going to take them in like this, I think, so I can just add some extra ones. So we'll have one coming out here, I think. Okay, so we had this dark bit up here, didn't we? And then I'm going to do it all in the darker one, actually. Like that, and then we'll have another one coming out of here. And then we'll have one coming out like this on here. And we'll have another one coming out that way, I think, on here. Because then they're both 5s, aren't they? Or 6 now, I think. Okay, let me get my black. And we can take this down on here. Take this down on there. And then this one on here. You can always add pieces in. That's better. That's better. I like that, actually. I think that looks quite good now. Okay, so I need to sort of do a stem or something for it, and I'm a little concerned. It's a little bit. Let me have a look at this one and see again. Well, they do come out like that, don't they? And then they have like a stem and then a little bit of a leaf on it. So I need to just do a. Should we have a stem coming out here? So what I have to do is to just darken in a little bit of a stem. Doesn't matter if it's thicker or thinner, I can always add to it like that. And then we'll take to come down so that it goes in on here. Like that. And then I'll do one from here as well in. And this is quite nice when you've got a dark pen, because you know you can just literally colour it in and you've got yourself your stem quite easily, and it looks as if you've almost done it as a what do you call it, I'm just taking this up like this for a leaf. You've taken it in all sorts of different colours and things in there. So you've got one leaf that way, and I think I'm just going to have one leaf coming up this way. Like that. Don't want too many, I don't think. But those I think are all right. Now I need to get a green, a couple of dark greens here. So we can just take this in. I'm not quite sure which colour's which. What's this? It is Granny Apple Green. So I just want to see how dark this comes out. That can come in like that. Is this the dark or the light? That's the dark, that's fine. Just want it to sort of blend in a little bit so we can see it's a bit of a leaf. Now I was gonna, don't know whether I want to have another one just sort of twisting up there. I think I really should, shouldn't I? So let's just take one that way. And we'll see what that looks like. I should have let it dry, which I haven't. So my black might run into it a little bit because I haven't let that dry. But one's water and one's alcohol, so it shouldn't be too bad. That's quite good. I'm actually starting to like that now. I think that works quite well. Now, the only thing that I want to do is to add just a few little words in on there in the black. And I'm going to, I found, this is a very old one. I need to just get it out to see which one it is. No, that's not it. It's just the words that I like. These are just old ones that I've had for ages and ages and ages. And I want, there's one that's got the word art on it somewhere in big letters, which is quite nice. Oh, here we are. There. So, I could have any of these. You can see I got them in the sale a long time ago. They should have been like £25 and I got them for 12. So I'm great at trying to get bargains and things. And I just want to have, I think I just want to have the word art because it's going in my art journal. So I quite like that because that just says art. So I'm just going to do a little bit of this, just get a block. But I'm quite pleased with those actually. I think the more I've done them, I could even have done a couple out on there. I might even just add some of those on it. Let me just do the words first. I'm going to have those in black because then that will just add a little bit onto there. Is that the right way up? I think it is, isn't it? It doesn't really matter that much. Black. Find a bit of black. Here we go. I always use the VersaFines because they are really nice and, as they say, fine, and they give. So I'm just going to have one there, one there, and one there. Oh, I like that. Now, I think I do need to make the little flowers just a little bit wider, I think. So let me just take those. And I'm going to take one that comes out from here, I think. So let's take that down that way. We need one out this way. I need to take another one out that way now then, don't I? And maybe take this one out in on here, like that. And then all I need to do is to do it with this pink, the darker pink, because that worked and it actually blends in with the background really quite well, so it doesn't take much to do it. So we've got some that's on paper and some that we've just literally drawn. And you know, I'm not by any means an artist, but it's really easy because they're not difficult shapes, so you can just do them. And as I say, these would make beautiful cards as well. Just did some of these, and it's the background that I think just adds to it beautifully. So I think that I'm not going to do anything more to it. I could just put some twinklies and bits and pieces like that on it, but I think, you know, it's like walk away. We've got the lovely background, we've got the texture and things of these coming through, and I think it looks beautiful. So as always, thank you so much for watching me. Please stay safe and well. Please be kind, and look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye bye.